Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're gonna crack this case and prove we're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
You are... Gary the Snake. And your last name? The Snake.
Dream team.
And new habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home.
You're clearly working at.
Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG.
I would say that the big point that we wanted to come across is that anybody with lungs can get lung cancer just because you're a non-smoker, not to create any unnecessary fear, but just know that this is out there and it's important to go seek medical care. And from the doctor side, it's important for you to know that we want to hear what you're going through, and we want you to know that you have a voice and that we want to hear it and we want to help you through whatever it is that you're dealing with. And on the note of the actual treatments themselves, there is hope. There are a lot of new drugs coming out. And so we just want people to understand that we're all working in it together. The last thing I'll leave with is if patients want to learn more, they can go to Rybrevant.com as a place to seek resources, learn about side effects, ultimately determine, could this be an option that would be right for me? And then taking that information back to your oncologist to discuss what the best fit would be for that patient.
Hey everyone, this is Jonathan Marks from Go To Health. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We have a very interesting show for you. When Debra, 65, was diagnosed with stage 4 non-small cell lung cancer, it was a diagnosis she never imagined would be part of her story. A lifelong non-smoker who loves spending time outdoors in her home state of Arizona, she has hiked the Grand Canyon Rim and 70 miles from the Camino Trail through Portugal. After her diagnosis, she turned to her oncologist, Dr. Azam Farooqui, for answers. Together, they reviewed her test results and discussed her options, ultimately deciding on a new innovative cancer therapy. Her oncologist, Ironwood Cancer and Research Center's Dr. Azam Farooqui, says Debra's story shows how open communication and a strong doctor-patient partnership can transform care. Dr. Farooqui encourages patients to openly share how they're feeling, ask questions, and be involved in decisions about their treatment plan, as understanding every patient's unique priorities is key to providing the best support, rather than taking a one-size-fits-all approach. Dr. Farooqui has Debra on a new medicine called Rybrevant, and you can learn more at rybrevant.com. That's RYBREVANT. And a small reminder before we get to our guests, please give us a 5-star review or a thumbs up if you're enjoying our shows. It helps us reach more people with this kind of important information. Thanks in advance. So welcome to the show, Dr. Azam Farooqui and Debra. How are you both today?
Good.
We're doing well.
Great. So Debra, tell us, how did you feel when you first given the news about your diagnosis, and what led you to Dr. Farooqui?
It was pretty devastating to not only know that I have cancer, but to tell everybody that I have cancer. That's probably the hardest part. To tell my children and I have a great support system though. And what led me to Dr. Farooqui was I went to my primary doctor and he suggested Ironwood. And I got paired with Dr. Farooqui and I have not looked back. He has been amazing for me.
Good. And you're a healthy person. You don't smoke. You're active, correct? And this just came up out of nowhere.
Well, it didn't come from nowhere, but I guess I got sick. I thought I had pneumonia. And then through a series of tests, they found out that I actually had some cancer, which I, of course, did not believe. I thought it was just asthma.
Yeah.
And that's what led me to go to Ironwood, because I didn't want anything but cancer research to do work.
And how did you know you could trust Dr. Farooqui as your oncologist? What built this level of trust for you?
What builds trust for me is somebody that listens to me, listens to my side of the story, and then also I have to listen to my doctor. And I think we both had that right away. He was very knowledgeable about, and it's not easy to tell somebody that they have cancer. I applaud him for telling me again that I had cancer because I was told that before, and sure enough, it was true.
Yes.
So, but he was great for right away. I wouldn't have turned back at all. So.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. And it feels so lucky that you found somebody that you could trust so well.
That's true.
Good. So I'll come back to you with some more questions, but doctor, what is the lung cancer that's called EGFR-positive NSCLC? What is that? Tell us about what it is.
I know it's a mouthful, and thank you again for having us. We've partnered with Johnson & Johnson to help raise awareness, and specifically on the topic you're asking about. So there are a different variety of lung cancers. NSCLC means non-small cell lung cancer, which is the majority of cases.
Mm-hmm.
And then within that, you have a smaller subset of patients that have this mutation called EGFR. That stands for endothelial growth factor receptor. And this is what we call a driver mutation. So the way to think about it is driving the cancer's growth.
Mm.
And so the reason why that's important is the first highlight, this is very common in non-smokers. And so one of the things that we really want people to know is that anybody with lungs can get lung cancer. So it's very important that you don't ignore symptoms, that you seek help and evaluation if you're worried. And the second most important piece is that for patients who have this mutation, there are now what we call targeted therapy options. So targeted therapy basically means that if you have the EGFR mutation, that we now have EGFR drugs that can target that mutation and fix it, or essentially slow the driving process, right? And the reason why that's even more important is that not only are these medicines more effective than traditional cancer treatment like chemotherapy, but they're also much better tolerated. There's less side effects. People can usually maintain a good quality of life. And so we really don't want patients to miss this opportunity, which is why we're trying to raise awareness and make sure that patients know that this exists and to talk with your healthcare provider about it.
And tell us what's different about these new treatments these days. How is it improved?
Yeah, so back when cancer first came about, right, there were a lot of different remedies that came out, and chemotherapy was probably the one that we've all known about the most. And chemotherapy obviously comes with a lot of baggage. There's a lot of side effects, there's a lot of quality of life issues. So one of the biggest things that we've been trying to do in the cancer world is figure out how can we be more focused instead of having treatment that's a little bit too broad. How can we narrow it in and almost kind of fire a laser off at the cancer instead of something bigger? And so when you do that, you get less off-target side effects, which means that the treatment is more focused. So it just hits the cancer and minimal other things. Whereas chemotherapy, it used to cause a lot of other side effects besides just treating the cancer. And the second reason it's different is not everybody has the mutation. So whenever a patient gets diagnosed, they have to run through what we call genetic testing, where we take their tumor, we run testing on it, and then it tells us what kind of genetic profile they have. EGFR is just one of many.
Okay, good. So this must have taken a lot of discussion between the two of you. And I want to bring up a topic that we've talked about before on this show, which is called shared decision making. Can you tell us how the two of you communicated to come up with the right plan for Debra?
Very good question. I would say that the first visit is always very difficult because there's just a lot of unknowns that we're all working with. And there's a lot of information we have to process in a short amount of time, whether that's the diagnosis itself, the prognosis, what other tests do we have to do, what are the treatment options. And so that first visit is not only trying to do that, but in all of that, trying to get a connection set and make sure that I understand the patient's priorities, their goals, and what they're looking for in the treatment. So a big part of it is we want to make sure that we all feel like a team and that Debra, myself, and other patients, nurses, we're all working together. And I think a lot of that is a matter of building trust and then also making sure communication is clear and easy. So I think when we first meet, we always try to look at a patient's priorities. What do they value? Okay, what's the most effective option that can still keep their values as close to what it was before? And that's how we usually try to work as a team. And then beyond that, it's a matter of continuing that by making sure communication stays open. So we'll usually have people email us, send us messages through our patient portal, calling us, talking with our nurses, so they feel like they have a full network that's helping them.
And it really sounds like, for what you've described, that you're available in many different ways. It's not impossible to get in touch with you.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think one of our mottos in our office is don't suffer in silence. So there inevitably will be side effects. And so the sooner we know about them, the better. They're much more easily manageable. So for example, Debra received a medication combination called Rybrevant and Lazertinib. And while it's a very well tolerated treatment, it does have side effects. Some patients get a rash, some people can get swelling in the legs, some people can get diarrhea, but these are manageable side effects as long as we catch them early. So we really want to make sure the patient feels like they have a voice and that they will be heard if they reach out to us.
Debra, let me come back to you. When you first got this diagnosis, the doctor just talked about the kind of communication that he's open to having, but I'm wondering, you're in this very, I guess, unsettling stage of your life here with this new information. So how were you able to communicate and promote your own interests?
The reason I'm doing this is for folks that may not think that they're a candidate for lung cancer. Mm-hmm. And that means, since I'm a non-smoker, I certainly did not expect to have this diagnosis. I think the best thing for most people, if you're not feeling well, that there is hope, and there is, if you go to your primary doctor to find out. My diagnosis was because I had several different kinds of tests, and then I got the information. But I went there first. I knew something was wrong, and so I went to my primary care doctor. And so that's the thing I want, why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Hey all, Jonathan from Go-To Health. Let me ask, how do you sustain your energy throughout the day? I try to do it with the morning cup of coffee and then one in the afternoon as a pick-me-up, and of course my daily vitamins. But what if I told you I was trying something new that's working for me just great? It provides me with sustained energy and focus, with caffeine for alertness, but balanced by amino acids and taurine to prevent jitters or crashes. It also has a blend of B vitamins, L-carnitine, and choline to power my energy and mental clarity, even if I didn't get the best night's sleep. It's also packed with vitamins A, C, and E to support my immune health, even with my days of packed schedules. And it's sugar-free and what I'll call flavor-forward. I alternate between 3 delicious flavors: mandarin orange, mango strawberry, and fruit punch. Just 1 small scoop of mix in 8 ounces of water, and I'm done. Boom, off to the races. This formula boasts 32 years of brand expertise and thousands of 5-star reviews from millions of users. And it's a woman-owned company. What's this product I'm yakking about? It's called Spark Energy Plus Focus from Advocare. Spark Energy Plus Focus. For Go-To Health listeners, I've scored 30% off and free shipping. Go to drinkspark.com and use code GoToHealth at checkout. That's code GoToHealth at drinkspark.com. Let's tackle the day together with Spark Energy Plus Focus. Good.
Every patient is unique. I'm not saying that my diagnosis is going to be cookie cutter type treatment, but stage 4 is not as much as a deterrent as it used to be.
Interesting. Tell me about that. What's your day-to-day life now?
I'm doing fine. I go to my treatment every other Thursday, and I work the next day. Like he said, this Rybrevant and Lazertinib is very good on my body. I just rest that one day and I'm fine. I go to work. It has not changed my life that much.
Thank God. Doctor, tell us more about these medicines, Rybrevant and Lazertinib. What are they? Are they injections? Are they pills? Tell us about them.
Yeah, so they're obviously 2. They both are targeting this mutation that we've discussed. Rybrevant is an IV infusion, and Lazertinib is an oral pill. Mm-hmm. So like Debra said, patients come in every 2 weeks for the infusion. The pill will be taken every day. And so in a way, it's nice when the patients come in, we get to see them, check their vitals, the nurses chat with them, make sure they're doing okay. I have monthly office visits with her probably review her labs. We talk about side effects. We are intermittently doing scans to see how her cancer is doing. So there's a lot of touch points that she makes with our clinic, which we like because that's our way of checking in on her. And like I said before, these are targeted medicines, so they are a lot more direct in how they work. So the side effects are less. I think Debra put it really nicely that they are working really well for her. But obviously, every case is different. So if another patient was on this combination, they may have more side effects. And so that's especially when it's necessary to make sure you're communicating that to oncologists so that they can make the right adjustments and add in medications to help make these side effects go away and improve quality of life again.
Good. So I'm really hearing about the crucial role that mutual communication takes in this kind of treatment, where both the patient and the doctor have to talk to each other and really see what's going on here to determine what's best.
Definitely.
Good. So let me ask the question I like to ask at the end. Is there a question that I didn't ask that I should have, or is there a big message you'd like to leave with people today?
Maybe I'll reply and I'll let Debra reply after. I would say that the big point that we wanted to come across is that anybody with lungs can get lung cancer just because you're a non-smoker, not to create any unnecessary fear, but just know that this is out there and it's important to go seek medical care. And from the doctor side, it's important for you to know that we want to hear what you're going through, and we want you to know that you have a voice and that we want to hear it and we want to help you through whatever it is that you're dealing with. And on the note of the actual treatments themselves, there is hope. There are a lot of new drugs coming out. And so we just want people to understand that we're all working in it together. The last thing I'll leave with is if patients want to learn more, they can go to Rybrevant.com as a place to seek resources, learn about side effects, ultimately determine, could this be an option that would be right for me? And then taking that information back to your oncologist to discuss what the best fit would be for that patient.
Good. Let me mention that website again before we get to Debra. It's Rybrevant, and I'll spell it. It's Rybrevant. Again, Rybrevant, Rybrevant.com. Debra, what kind of word would you like to leave with us before we go today?
The reason I'm doing this is so that people can acknowledge that there is lung cancer when you don't smoke. I'm a candidate. I've never smoked in my life, and I've gotten lung cancer. And a lot of people will say, not me, I've never smoked. But that's not the case. You have to, if you're not feeling well, if you have some type of even asthma, might want to get it checked out to make sure that it's not getting worse. And that's my answer to you on that. I would really like people to acknowledge lung cancer.
Good. Thank you both for being with us today. It's been very helpful. I've learned a lot of new things during this, and I hope we will share this with a lot of people. We've been talking with Dr. Azam Farooqui, MD. He specializes in lung, head, and neck malignancies and hematologic disorders. He's a member of the Ironwood Cancer and Research Centers, and he joined them in August of 2020. He's been selected by his professional peers as top doc in Phoenix magazine and honored as a 2025 Phoenix Business Journal 40 Under 40. We've also been talking with Debra, who's 65 years old. She's a lifelong, as she said, a lifelong non-smoker and an avid outdoor enthusiast. She manages a nonprofit thrift shop in her hometown of Chandler, Arizona, and enjoys hiking and gardening. And she started on Rybrevant and Lazertinib in June 2025. Both of you, thanks for being with me today. And Debra, I hope you continue to stay healthy and live a long life. Thanks again.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Good. God bless to you both. And thank you, everybody, for listening to the show today. This has been Jonathan Marks with Go to Health. And as we say at the end of every show, go to health. God bless. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Thank you for tuning in today to Go to Health. You are one of almost 10,000 people per day who enjoy the evidence-based health information offered by our guest health experts. You can watch us on our website and YouTube and listen to us on 8 podcast networks. Be sure to join Jonathan Marks in our upcoming shows each week. If you like our show, please share this episode with your friends and colleagues. You can subscribe to the show, join our email list, send us feedback, browse through the online store, and view our library of over 150 shows at gotohealthmedia.com. See you next time, and remember to elevate your life with Go to Health.